One evening in June 1990, when I was a 20-year-old university student, my friend Bryn walked into the college bar. "If you had tickets to the World Cup," he asked, "would you go?" I didn't think it was a very difficult question. "I can get match tickets," Bryn explained, "but if I bugger off to Italy in the middle of term, I'll get into trouble." I said, "If I had tickets to the World Cup, I'd also get tickets for my friends." "Oh, that's not a problem," said Bryn. "I can get as many tickets as I want." It was all thanks to Mars. The food company was sponsoring the tournament and had thousands of match tickets for business associates, but few of them wanted to go. If they were American or Asian, they probably didn't care about football. If they were European, they tended to be put off by visions of British hooligans sacking the Italian peninsula. Margaret Thatcher, the Prime Minister, had encouraged the FA to consider very carefully withdrawing from the tournament. And so some guy at Mars, the dad of a friend of Bryn's, had been stuck with stacks of spare tickets. A few days later, Bryn, our friend Henry, and I were chugging to Dover in Bryn's battered car. We crossed the Channel by boat and spent 24 hours in an increasingly smelly railway carriage, having the sorts of conversations that bumptious 20-year-old male students had in the days before PlayStation, about girls, politics, and the World Cup. Though we had only the dimmest awareness of it, globalization had just begun to accelerate. The Berlin Wall had fallen 7 months earlier. China was opening up, and new technologies were connecting the world. Cheap flights, high-speed trains, cable TV, and, coming soon, the Internet. The new era would change the World Cup, as I would discover over the next 3 decades. The three of us were busy resolving the Bulgarian governmental crisis when our train chugged out of France and stopped at an Italian border post in the middle of nowhere. We waved our stiff-backed blue British passports at the 2 border guards. They studied them and spotted that Bryn was born in Liverpool, the city at that point associated with the Heysel disaster, which 5 years earlier had killed dozens of Italians at the Liverpool-Juventus European Cup final. The guards conferred with each other and then told us in broken English, "You cannot enter Italy." "What?" we said. "You might be hooligans," they pointed out. We pulled our IDs out of our pockets, but nothing could sway them. As a last resort, we waved our library cards. "Studenti di Oxford Università," we shouted. The border officials conferred. On a pretty weak sociological basis, they decided that if we were Oxford students, we probably weren't hooligans. It was an early lesson in the benefits of institution dropping. They waved us back onto the train and into Italy. That's how professional the security operation for the 1990 World Cup was. I know we arrived in Milan on the evening of the 8th of June because the opening match between Diego Maradona's Argentina and Cameroon had just finished in the San Siro, and though an Argentinian victory was a foregone conclusion, we didn't yet know the score. We walked from the station into town, behind a lone Cameroonian fan wrapped in his country's flag.